Primer. It's time to settle down. Settle down. And listen to the soothing sound. Oh yeah, Tom and Emma. Oh, because this. Oh my God, this. Oh yeah, this. Oh yeah, this is on a roll.
Hello and welcome to the first episode, can you believe it, of On a Roll, where we take an unhealthy interest into actors' filmographies. I'm Tom, and joining me is
Emma. Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
How are you feeling about this first episode?
I'm feeling very good about it.
You're excited to delve into all things Robert Pattinson. I'm giving the game away a little.
Yeah, I'm excited to just be able to speak my mind about it.
You've been waiting for your moment to shine. You've had a lot of
have.
things to say for a lot of years about Robert Pattinson, and you finally got your moment.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to explain the concept of this podcast to a few people, and I've been like, there's actually no better person to do this with than you, because you've known me the longest of anyone, and you've been there.
I've been through thick and through thin, through the highs and the lows of your Robert Pattinson obsession. Should we explain a little bit about what this podcast is? It's not just a Robert Pattinson fan podcast,
although
is it?
Some people have been disappointed to find out it's not just Robert Pattinson. He is the hot topic at the moment.
Yes.
But yeah, so this podcast is basically each week we will be watching however many movies from a chosen actor's filmography, so 3 or 4 usually, and then we'll be choosing one film to talk about in grievous detail, and this series is all about, as we said, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, so we'll be slowly making our way through his filmography.
Yeah,
starting at the beginning, the very best place to start.
Originally the idea was going to be, let's watch every single film and do a podcast episode about each film. And then we were like, that's going to be long.
It's going to be long, and unfortunately Robert Pattinson's not going to make films forever, is he? So
No.
we've run out of things to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So then it was sort of like, okay, we can do other episodes about other actors in the future, and then we can just get a well-rounded understanding of their filmography by watching every goddamn film they've ever made.
And everything that's on their IMDb.
Yeah.
That's what I've gone for.
Including
adverts,
yeah.
short films that they've been in.
I mean, we're on week 1 and I'm already regretting this whole thing.
What? I'm loving it. I'm loving every second. I don't know what you're talking about. You mentioned it a bit there before, but you've had a long-standing interest. Should we call it an interest?
Yeah, so where do we start with this? So, I probably should have checked my timeline before I began this story, but I mean, classic year 7, year 8 for me. I was like 13. Okay, are you going to take over here?
So for me,
Jesus, take the
for
wheel.
me, it was 2009. I want to say it's when it began. I remember the day clearly. I remember the day clearly.
Okay.
We were both sat in ICT. And I look over and you and a mutual friend of ours were creating something on the computer instead of the work that we should have been doing.
No one did their work in IT, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, that is true.
Between Bloons Tower Defense and what you're about to say, I didn't have much time to learn Excel.
So just a side note, I once got in trouble because I decided that I was going to not do my ICT work and just watch films in ICT. So I took in
you were born for this.
Yeah, I took in a memory stick. I hadn't watched Iron Man at that point. Was it 2009? Well, it came out 2008, didn't it?
2008,
So,
yeah.
And I loaded Iron Man that I downloaded from somewhere onto... don't download, it's illegal. It's bad. It should
you
be
wouldn't
promoted.
steal a car.
Yeah, that was actually on the DVD of one of the things that I watched this week. But yeah, I took an Iron Man and I decided, if they find it, they'll delete it. So I'll copy it a load of times.
Oh my God, hacker man.
Yeah, I'll make loads of copies of it throughout my user profile so that they won't be able to find where it is or saves. What I didn't realise was that obviously that copies the data each time. So my hard drive assigned to my user became massively inflated, which meant that they then went into my user.
It red flagged and they were like, what the hell is this kid doing?
So I got called into
1,000 copies of Iron Man.
I got called into the ICT guy's office.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah. Because I also
were you embarrassed?
Well, because the main issue was there was a teacher at our school. I don't know if you remember, but he had he was a DT teacher and he had a tutorial software of how to use CAD Cam or something.
Oh yeah.
But it was him in front of a green screen, so everyone used to print screen it and then Photoshop his face onto different things.
Yeah.
So I'd photoshopped him onto several different people, and in going through
every character in Iron Man.
not just Iron Man. I won't name the people that I photoshopped him onto because some of them were less than flattering. But so going through my profile to find Iron Man, they found all these photos, and they're like, "What were you going to do with these?" Because
Tom,
I don't know.
never
I don't know.
knew
I don't know
this.
if you remember, but there was a thing at our school of people would Photoshop this teacher and then email it around, and there were some quite bad ones.
Oh, I remember a kid got expelled for this.
So like, yeah, it was
Name and no names.
It was after that. It was after, I'll say it, someone had photoshopped him onto a Taliban person with a bomb of C4 or something and sent that round.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That could have been from Iron Man.
So that was bad. So they were pretty touchy about it after that. But luckily the teacher in question liked me quite a bit, because the next time I went into his lesson, he brought it up with me. I was the first one there, and he was like, "So Tom," I was going to do his accent, but that would give away who he was.
Yeah, don't do it.
I hear you IT guys have said that you've photoshopped these photos of me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Like I was just bored, and like, you know, your image is readily available." And he was like,
You were
and
asking
he was like,
for
"No,
it."
no, don't worry. I've told them not to take it any further because I know you, and I know that you wouldn't do anything like that." And I was like, whew, being a nerd has paid off.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Anyway,
I never knew that story. You kept that quiet for 10 years.
but I'm pretty sure I told people at the
No,
time.
no,
Oh,
I would have
was
thought you
pro-
were
I was
way
pro-
cooler if
I was
I knew
prob-
that.
I was probably quite embarrassed by it.
I mean, you
But,
should be.
Anyway, back to ICT. You and our mutual friend were photoshopping something.
Okay, I just want to say that I was both the creative director and executor on this project. She was just there.
Oh, right, okay. Well, anyway, I look over and it's something that resembles either a £10 note or would you say you £10 or more dollars that you were designing it off?
It was more of a $1.
A dollar. Anyway, it's $1, but it's got Robert Pattinson's face on it.
Yeah.
And the currency that you coined, no pun
Patty
intended,
pounds.
was patty
Patty
pound.
pounds, thank you. Yeah. They were double-sided, and I printed so many they were falling out of my clothes for like months afterwards. Like a
You've kept
stripper
that-
with
you've
like patty
ke-
pounds in my blazer.
You've kept that quiet for 10 years because I never knew that those things got printed. I thought
you kidding
I
me?
thought they were only conceptual.
Oh hell no! I printed double-sided ones. I had so many.
Oh,
So many.
wow.
I was using them as bookmarks, like in
Wow.
all my books,
Oh,
in all my
not
Twilight
just
books,
not just the Twilight ones.
and Harry Potter.
And whoa, crossing the streams. So I think it's fair to say that you're quite the fan
Yeah.
of Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I mean, it did start when he got cast in Twilight, but
Well, you weren't aware of him from his work in Harry Potter.
I was. This is the thing. I feel like he got cast in Twilight not long after that. And so then I became aware that he was going to be Edward Cullen as Goblet of Fire came out. So I was like, okay,
Right.
I'm immediately obsessed with you because I know you're going to be Edward Cullen. I was 13, okay?
There was no
13.
question.
No.
You are Edward Cullen, therefore I have to be obsessed with you.
Although, like, I won't get to this now before we start discussing the films, but watching Goblet of Fire again the other day, it did bring back all the memories of fancying Daniel Radcliffe in that film, and I've no idea why. Because the hair
Probably the hair.
is so bad. Like, we won't get into it.
We'll get onto that.
But it's so bad.
Because,
But yeah.
yeah, so today we've watched 3 films in preparation for this episode. We've watched Vanity Fair, which is Robert Pattinson's debut film. Vanity Fair starring Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Sword of, I would say Xanten.
I say Xanten.
Or Xanten.
Is that
Sorry, yeah, I get it
wrong?
wrong. Xanten.
Sword
But
of Xanten.
everyone in the film says Xanten.
Xanten. Sword of Xanten.
The sword. He's the king of Xanten.
Yeah.
So it's the
It's
sword of
'cause they're posh,
Xanten.
innit?
I don't know. They were like
Xanten.
They were Nordic or something.
Well, I don't know.
And Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, classic.
So we will mainly be focusing on Sword of Xanten.
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 Although,
Like
just
Batman.
quickly, that film is named about 50 different things in different
I've
countries.
got stuff
he's
about
armed
that.
with facts. He's
well,
armed with
not
facts.
facts, but yeah. It's, it's
just-
a very hard to track down film.
I did go on, so just quickly, we've done a couple of practice episodes for this just to like iron out any technical difficulties and such. And for all the films we've watched so far, we've been going on IMDb trivia, and having a look at the facts. And I went
So
on
you
it
must
for
have
Sword
done
of
exactly the
Xanten.
same thing I did.
There was one fact.
There's 2.
Oh, two facts.
One of them is it's Robert Pattinson's
Robert
debut film.
Pattinson's debut film. And the other one, I can't even remember. I
It
just
was-
thought
yes,
something
not
really
interesting.
inconsequential. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what I
But
thought I was going to find.
I found some other stuff out. But yeah, so we'll quickly gloss over, do a brief summary of Vanity Fair and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Although I'm sure people are quite familiar with that one. Maybe not so much with Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
I certainly wasn't.
I still don't know what happened in Vanity Fair because
so-
I was so bored.
And we'll give them a rating. We tend to do a rating of a film based on the actor's name and something to do with the film. So we haven't come up with one for Robert Pattinson yet.
I mean, initially, when we had the idea of doing a Robert Pattinson podcast, we were going to call it Pat on the Back, and we were going to say if the film was good, it would get a pat on the back, and if it was bad, it would get a shat on the
It
back.
would be a shat on the
It would
back.
be a shat on the back. Now, I personally have no issue with this rating system.
Okay.
If you want to change it.
Well, I was going to suggest because if anyone at home is wanting to watch along with us and watch go on the journey
Yeah.
that we're going on and watch all of Robert Pattinson's film. I mean, first of all, good luck finding them all because Some of them have had a lot of trouble tracking down
Tom's
copies
been on the
of.
black market looking for some of these
Honestly,
films.
this guy, I had to go meet a guy in a back alley, and he goes, "You want some of that? You want some of that sword of Xanten?
In Nocturne
Want some of
Alley.
that Xanten? Oh, yeah, I got some good Xanten.
What
for
are
you,
you
mate."
doing down here, Harry?
Was I supposed to be Hagrid?
Yeah.
What are you doing down here, Harry?
It wasn't Scottish.
It wasn't Scottish.
I don't even know where Hagrid's
You're
from.
a fucking wizard, Harry.
Yeah. What are you doing down Nocturne Alley, you bastard?
But yeah, I would maybe suggest don't bother watching Vanity Fair because you won't get much. I was going to say bang for your buck, but shall we go with Patty Pound for your buck?
Yes, we shall.
Because Robert Pattinson isn't in the film. Even though it's listed on his IMDb, to be fair, it does say uncredited, but he is in it only in a deleted scene.
I am absolutely beside myself with rage when I found that out. Oh my God.
I knew you would be because we watched the film separately, and in the chronology of things, I watched it first. So I discovered first that Robert Pattinson was not in this film.
Yeah.
And stayed silent.
Yeah, you thought not to tell me, which is so funny. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I wanted you to go
experience
through
the
what I
pain.
went through.
Well,
So what did you think of Vanity Fair?
It's a goddamn long film for a start, like 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
Too long for a start. And I'm watching it Saturday morning, just chilling, and I get like 2 hours in, and I'm going, where the hell is Rob?
Where is he? Where's my Rob?
So I take to my phone and I Google it, and the first thing I see is Robert Pattinson wasn't told that his scene was cut from Vanity Fair, and I was like, you fucking what?
So, if I may, because we've tried not to speak about what we thought of these films. Am I getting there that you're not a fan of this film?
No.
Why not?
I find period dramas quite the bore, and I mean, for one,
it's a bit slow. I'll
the
give you
severe lack of Robert Pattinson was an issue, but we've already addressed that, so I won't keep banging on about it. But I just don't like it unless it's like a period murder drama. Like
Right,
Sherlock.
right,
I'm
I'm
into
with you,
that
I'm with
because
you.
that's interesting. I don't want to see people like poncing around talking about
So-
lords and ladies. I don't
So
care.
there was a fair bit of poncing in it. I went into it initially thinking those thoughts as well, but
I feel like you'd enjoy
I
it.
found it weirdly compelling. Yeah, I
Did
found myself
you?
enjoying it. Yeah,
Is that because you're an actor?
maybe, but I mean, no, a lot of it I was like, oh, like it took me 2 sittings to watch it. I'll say that. I mean, I've probably got a terrible attention span, but yeah, no, I quite enjoyed it. And I have to say props to Reese Witherspoon because her English accent in it is really good.
Yeah, to be fair, she's good in it.
For someone who's extremely American,
Yeah.
her English accent's really good. But yeah, it went on a bit and it's your run-of-the-mill period drama.
Yeah.
Based on a book that I'd never heard of. I'm sure it's quite a famous book. It must be to be made into a film. I don't think this is the first film adaptation of it.
I haven't got a clue. I couldn't bring myself to even read about it, to be honest.
Yeah. If you're into your period dramas and you don't need your fix of Robert Pattinson,
Not like I do.
then give it a watch.
I was just, you know what, as well, like, I read about it afterwards and about his scene getting cut, and they didn't even tell him. They just let him show up to the screening, didn't tell him, and his scene got cut.
Having watched the scene, because it is available on YouTube,
Yeah.
I think it's actually quite a good scene as well, and
Yeah.
probably more of a fitting ending than the actual film. And also in this film, though, because it's a weird cast, because there's quite a few American actors in it, but then there's also like
Jim Broadbent's in
yeah,
it.
Jim Broadbent's in
Yeah.
it, and like some well-known British actors. But then randomly at the end, have you watched Gavin and Stacey?
No.
So Matthew Horn is in it, who plays Gavin in Gavin and
I
Stacey.
did notice that.
And I was like, what? Why is he in this of all people? Like, he's only a very, very minor part, but he didn't get cut. Robert Pattinson did.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I mean,
look who's laughing now.
I don't know if you read the same thing, but apparently the director or someone felt so bad about cutting a scene without telling him that they put him forward for the Goblet of Fire audition
Oh,
before
really?
anyone else.
Really?
So if the
That's-
scene hadn't got cut, we might not have
Swings and
Cedric
roundabouts.
Diggory.
Swings
Yeah.
and roundabouts.
So
based on the fact that it doesn't have Robert Pattinson in it,
shat on the back.
I don't think we should go with the Robert Pattinson rating. So I'm going to propose, seeing as she's the main character, Reese Witherspoon. Now, is it Reese Witherspoon or Reese without a spoon? I don't see how you didn't see that coming.
I was like waiting with bated breath, like, what's he gonna say? It's Reese without a spoon.
Well, for me, she's got her spoon.
really?
She's got her silver spoon. No.
Ooh.
Oh, let's see what I did, because in the film she's like trying to
I
get.
think you're biased because
better.
you're an actor and you appreciate things more, whereas I'm like, this is boring.
I mean, you know, it felt very Great Expectations-y, David Copperfield-y. to me.
Yeah, I don't like those either.
Bit of Dickens.
Bit of what now?
Bit of Dickens. Do you not like a bit of Dickens? Should we move on?
Yeah.
Um,
Swiftly.
Swiftly moving on. We'll gloss over Sword of Xanten because
Mm-hmm.
we're going to come back to that.
Yeah, that's going to be the meat and two veg of the podcast. Wait, is
Well,
that? Is that how you
We've
say
gone from
it?
Dickens to Meat and Two Veg. I think that's something else. So, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Now, I
Cracking
had
film.
surprisingly more to say about this than I thought I did, because
Oh,
I thought,
really?
it's just Harry Potter, but it makes you appreciate how good the Harry Potter films are.
Do you
Having
know
watched the
what?
other two films
Do
this
you know,
week.
do you know what, Tom? So I'm probably going to get sloon for this, but
Sloon.
Slain, I don't know. Goblet of Fire was always my least favourite Harry Potter film.
Oh, really?
Always.
Why?
Well,
Can you
I
tell me
think
why?
just growing up, I mean, it came out when we were 10. So I think I just felt
Jesus.
like it was a bit scary, it was a bit long, and I just don't remember liking it that much. And I think the hair put me off as well.
Yeah,
Seriously.
the hair's pretty bad.
So, and then watching it again, I was like, this is actually so good. And like, it does help that there's a healthy portion of Robert Pattinson in it.
Yeah,
And, you know,
not as much as maybe you'd like.
yeah.
But, I mean, spoiler alert, as the chronologically, if I could speak, we gradually get more Robert Pattinson, don't we?
We do.
Which, I mean, is obvious as his career progresses, we get more and more Robert Pattinson. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I did, yeah, it was great.
And like, so many quotable lines came back to me.
So many. Do you find yourself sitting there like speaking over it because you can't help it?
So I like the bit at the end where Cedric is dead and he gets back
my
and
boy.
his dad's there going, "He's my son,
He's my
boy." Before he even spoke, I was like, "He's my son, he's my boy." And I was like, I haven't watched this film in like I didn't even know that I knew that quote. And then it was just coming out of me. And kill the spare.
Oh my god, that makes me laugh so much. I don't know why.
Why?
I think at the
Kill
time
the spare.
it was just quite a meme at the time, like back in the day. It was such a meme. Everyone saying kill the spare. So when he says it,
Kill the spare.
it broke my heart. I think I've become more sensitive in my old age because not only did Cedric Diggory getting Avada Kedavra really actually upset me. It didn't upset me that much before. What also upset me was when Mad Eye Moody, Barty Crouch Jr., whatever, is torturing the creepy crab thing in the class. I was there like, I'm so upset by this.
And Neville's getting triggered.
Yeah.
There's some good like false like red herrings in there of like who
False herrings.
False herrings, yeah, that is the phrase. Because obviously, if you've read the books and you've watched the films, you know that Barty Crouch Jr. is pretending to be Mad Eye Moody. I'm sorry if I'm ruining.
If you haven't seen it,
a 10-year-old
that's
film,
your own fault.
a 20-year-old.
It's
Oh,
15.
shit.
15 years old.
But Goblet of Fire came out in 2000, didn't it, as well? The book.
Yeah.
That's 20 years old.
Holy smokes.
Holy smokes!
Holy smokes.
Stop the press. We're gonna let them know it's 20 years old. I
Get
don't know.
Get Rita Skeeter.
I don't know why I've gone into this voice. It's a bloody British film.
Do you mind if you use
Well,
my quick quote
that
reel?
was another thing I was going to say. I think the reason Harry Potter films are so good, and also like because I was thinking about obviously all the young fiction stuff that came out after this.
Mhm.
Obviously there was like Twilight and Hunger
Hunger
Games,
Games, yeah.
and they tried to do Divergent or whatever,
Yeah.
but they all sort of failed. And maybe this is because we're British, but I think it's just a bloody good British film.
It's just bloody
good British filmmakers
Bit of
and
Alan
cast.
Rickman.
You know, it's just a
Michael Gambon.
bloody good bit of British. Oh,
Although since
don't
all
often
of
get
the
patriotic, but
slight segue, but since all of the like J.K. Rowling controversies come out, I can't help but pick flaws in it. And like as soon as Cho Chang comes on screen, I'm like, her name's Cho Chang for fuck's sake.
come on, JK.
And like Padma and Parvati Patil are always together, and they always dress the same.
That's actually an error
Is it?
because in the books they're in separate houses.
Oh yeah, isn't one in Ravenclaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
just
Just a little
get
bit
my
of
Harry
trivia
Potter
for
geek
you.
on there. Also, like when all the different schools come in and they do their dances, and
Oh
obviously
my
like
God.
Durmstrang is like I'm a big manly school, and Beauxbatons,
Beauxbatons, yeah.
they do we're all the big girly
And
school.
they film their asses on a close up. I really enjoyed that bit. Really appropriate.
Yeah, appropriate.
For a kids film.
Yeah. And all the boys are going, oh, and when I love it when they walk.
Oh, it's so gross, isn't it? You know I like it when they walk. It's like, ew, Ron, gross.
Like, what would Hogwarts' dance be? Like, how would they?
The robot?
What would they do? Because then they're just Hogwarts, aren't they?
Boring.
Yeah, boring old Hogwarts.
Boring old Hogwarts.
Anyway, this is definitely a Robert pat on the back.
Yeah, so Robert Pattinson in Goblet of Fire, fantastic.
Give yourself a pat on the back, Robert.
I Cedric dig it.
Oh, is that can be it? Are we
Oh.
Cedric digging it or Cedric dugging it? I ran out of steam on that one, but I Cedric dig it.
Yeah,
Or
I
is
Cedric dig it.
Is it the Goblet of Fire?
Oh,
Or just the Goblet of Fire?
the Goblet of shit.
Well, anyway, it's a good film.
Yeah,
But we are
classic.
biased because we like Harry Potter quite a bit.
We do, yeah. As much as
Anyway.
it pains me to admit it these days, I do love it.
So now we go to the main feature.
Here's what we all came here for.
the big guns.
The big swords.
Sword of Xanten.
Sword of Xanten.
Sword of Xanten, or
Uh,
its other names. Oh, let me go through
Isn't
my
one
notes.
like the Forbidden Ring or something?
It's the ring of the Nibelungs. Or Dark Kingdom, the Dragon King.
Isn't it also called the Cursed Ring or something?
I'm looking.
Can
in
you
my
just say
notes.
Curse of the Nibelungs again?
Ring of the Nibelungs?
Sorry.
Or
Ring of the Nibelungs.
The German language, Die Nibelungen. Yeah. So, do you want to try and briefly explain the plot of Sword of Xanten, Ring of the Nibelungs, Dark Kingdom, the Dragon King?
I mean, I'll try.
I'll try my best.
My brain
Shall I
just went to sleep.
Shall I get us started?
My brain just completely went to sleep. Honestly, I don't even know if I can. It started like Vikings, like Nordic, Queen of Iceland stuff, and then it ended like Lord of the Rings. I don't even know.
So it's based, because I was like, this is very like Lord of the Rings here. It's
Yeah.
ripped a lot of Lord of the Rings here, but it's actually based on like Nordic mythology.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I love Vikings. I don't know if you've seen it, but
No, I've
I was
not,
pretty
no.
hyped on it because like the Viking boat comes out of the water and it's the Queen of Iceland and there's shield maidens.
yeah.
And but I didn't follow.
So
If I'm honest.
there's a king or queen or somewhere,
Iceland?
and then no, of Xanten.
Xanten.
And they're raided or something and killed, and they send their
Oh,
son
yeah.
down the river, don't they? And he's adopted by someone.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
he, years later, when he's grown up adopted, he doesn't know who he is, and he meets the Queen of Iceland, and
And they
no one can beat her in combat apart from him.
Yeah, so
Weirdly,
he
he's
beats
got-
her up and they lay some pipe. And it's like, okay.
And then they're in love,
And then she's like, I love you, you're my destiny.
and he's like, "Yeah, I love you too."
She's just met this dirty, ugly man in the woods. And suddenly she's
He's
in
got
love with him.
fantastic hair, though.
I mean,
It has to be said.
I must admit, I was disappointed because when they send the boy down the river, I thought, yeah, that's going to be Rob.
That's got to be Robert Pattinson. So did I.
It's not Rob.
But it's not.
It's not Rob.
He he shows up later in the film
Yeah.
as the brother of a king, and
In the worst wig I have ever seen.
I've got, oh yes, Robert, mullet, because he has
Business
the
in
worst,
the front,
the worst
party in the
wig,
back. Yeah.
the worst wig. I don't know if it's a wig, but he's got the worst hair.
It's definitely a wig.
So he goes to the city or whatever, and a dragon's just turned up, and he kills the dragon,
Hmm.
and then there's a lot of like blood action
Yeah.
because he like starts licking the dragon's blood.
Oh my god, yeah, and he doesn't lick it as if to be like, I don't know, maybe I'm trying. I don't even know how to explain it.
Like-
He starts licking it and really enjoying it.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, can you get some
Yeah.
more of this dragon blood?
it gets
in me?"
very sexual.
And then he like heals because he's been wounded by the dragon.
yeah,
And then he's like, oh, it's healed me. The next logical step here is to bathe in the dragon's blood.
yeah. So he strips off naked and dips his whole body in there.
Apart from, he's got a very conspicuously placed leaf on his back. I don't know how it got there. Because I remember thinking when I watched it.
I was thinking, why is there a leaf on his shoulder blade?
So, because there's a leaf on his shoulder, that's the only place that he can be penetrated. Because his skin has become impenetrable.
Sorry, I'm
Um,
an actual 12-year-old boy.
yeah, I knew what I was saying.
Yeah.
Um,
You knew what you were doing.
and he goes to the king. He says, "I've killed the dragon, mate."
Mm. Mate, it was nothing.
It's nothing.
I killed it, mate.
And he finds the hoard, the treasure of the Nibelungs. That's where the Nibelung name comes from.
This film it just escapes me. So much happens.
Right. Well,
It's so long.
would you like to know why?
Because it's a TV.
Because it was actually a miniseries.
Yeah, was it a 3-part series and they've
Yeah.
strung it all together into
Would
a
you like to know
film?
something else?
Go on.
The version we watched has got over an hour of stuff cut out of it.
Oh my god. Well, do you know what?
I couldn't find the full version.
When I looked at our plan for this podcast and I was like, okay, I've got to watch Sword of Xanten this week, I googled Sword of Xanten running time, and the first one it gives you on Google is like 3 hours and 7 minutes.
That's
and I
how
was
long it
thinking,
should be.
I can't do it. I cannot do that. And then when I looked at the file you'd given me on USB stick, it said 2 hours, and I was like, okay, I
Yeah,
can do this.
the version we had is the shorter version that I think was shown on Channel 4 because it was originally broadcast in Germany. Apparently, it was really popular in Germany.
I was kind of into it for the first hour, and then it just got away from me.
Yeah, because also you can tell where each episode ends. What I was going to say about it is it feels like there's lots of conflicting stories
Mhm.
because I thought the whole plot of the film was that this dragon's been introduced. He's going to go and try and kill the dragon. He can't beat it on his own. He's got to go and find something else how to kill the dragon. But then he just kills the dragon.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so what's the rest of this film about?
Yeah.
And that was the first episode. He kills the dragon.
Yeah.
So then he gets the stuff of the Nibelungs, and they appear and they're ghosts, and they're like, no, you can't take it. If you take it, you'll be cursed. And he's
Yeah.
like, fuck you, motherfuckers.
He just goes, I don't believe in curses.
Because up until this point, he's been like a really honourable, nice guy.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he kills the
then he's just
dragon,
a
he turns
grave
into
robber.
a prick.
He's just a thief.
He's like such a cocky prick.
Yeah.
And then he comes out, and what I've got described in my notes as shit Hagrid. attacks him.
I said the exact same thing. It's like Hagrid crossed with Tyrion.
Yeah. So, which is kind of a
Which
contradiction
makes,
in
like,
terms because Hagrid's a giant.
Yeah.
But, well, half giant, and Tyrion's a dwarf. But yeah, he is a dwarf who looks like Hagrid.
Yeah.
And he turns out he was a Nibelung, but he tried to steal the treasure, so he lost his immortality. Although I wouldn't want to be a shitty ghost all day. Do you know what I mean?
Just all day, every day.
Yeah, all day.
I'm
I
great,
guess,
I'm a
I guess,
shitty ghost
I guess
again.
if he's immortal for
Every
eternity.
morning you wake up like, great, I'm still a shitty ghost.
I'm still a shitty. I can't do anything. I've just got to sit with this treasure. When did that get me?
All day. All day, baby.
And there's quite a few of them as well, and
There's
they all look
so
the same.
many.
But that was where I was like, this is a lot like Lord of
is
the
this Casper?
This is a lot like Lord of the Rings because there's a ghost army in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But obviously, I would assume J.R.R. Tolkien didn't come first. I don't know much about history, but I think
What, before ghosts? As
yeah,
a concept?
yeah. Well, no, I think he was slightly. I might be wrong. Feel free to correct me, but he is slightly after Norse mythology. I think. I may give or take a few years.
I'm
but
going to need some hard data
yeah,
here. But yeah,
it's hard to tell, but I think he might be after it.
Yeah.
But anyone listening, feel free to get back to us on that.
Any Norse mythology experts
Yeah.
want to let us know if Odin is older than J.R. Tolkien?
Anyway, he.
I digress.
Yeah, it's quite a bit like Lord of the Rings.
But way worse.
But well, this version, I'm sure the actual story is quite good, but this TV movie leaves a little to be desired.
A little bit desired.
So anyway, he gets out, he meets Shit Hagrid, but Shit Hagrid doesn't look like Shit Hagrid at that point. He looks like him.
Him, yeah.
Because he has this magic mask
Magic hat.
that makes him look like anyone, but because he defeats him, he gives him the magic hat. And then he goes to the king and says, I've killed the dragon. And then the king wants to marry the Queen of Iceland, who is... Well, we keep calling him. What's his name?
Gunhild.
Gunhild. No, that's the Queen of...
Oh.
That's the Queen of Iceland, Gunhild.
Jürgen? I'm just naming
I
random,
can't remember.
Nordic names.
Oh, Eric. His name is Eric.
His name's Eric?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Because I've got here in my notes... I know he's called Eric because when he first meets the Queen of Iceland, I've got, just go straight in for the kiss.
Yeah.
Why doesn't that work for me? That's what I've got.
Have you ever tried it, though?
And then I've got, sex 2 Eric. Very, very forward, because he's just so forward, I thought, throughout the whole film.
Maybe that's where you're going wrong, Tom.
Maybe.
You're too nice.
I just need to go straight in for the kiss. First of all, I need to batter a woman.
You need to beat her up.
That's what women like, isn't it?
I can't care to comment.
Is that... I mean, each to their own, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever tickles your pickle.
Yeah.
Floats your boat.
Xanten's your sword.
I'd Xanten his sword.
I'd curse his Nibelung.
I'd nibble his lung. Anyway, I digress.
So he's got the magic hat.
So he's got the magic hat, and then
he uses it.
The king's evil brother, evil advisor, wants the Nibelung treasure for himself.
Yeah, he does. And
no, I read up on about this. Do you know who he is? Do you know who he is?
The ginger dude.
No, the guy with the beard. Who?
Oh no, but I did think he looks like someone.
Oh, I didn't mean in real life. I meant in the film.
Oh,
but yeah, I recognised him from some stuff as well. But I can't. I thought he was the guy who plays someone in Star Wars, but it's not him.
Oh, I thought that too. So.
Yeah, no, it's not him.
Aww.
He's not Bail Organa from Star Wars.
Oh.
No, it's not him.
Oh.
He does look a lot like him though.
Sweet Nibelungs.
But in the story, he's Shit Hagrid's son.
Oh.
But I didn't get any of that. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
No.
But he wants the treasure for himself, and he doesn't want Eric to marry the Queen of Iceland, so he concocts a potion that will make him fall in love with the king's sister and forget the Queen of Iceland. So after he's drunk that potion and he's forgot all about her, the king says, I want to go marry the Queen of Iceland, but the only way she'll marry someone is if they can beat me in single combat.
Yeah.
But I can't do that because no man can, apart from you.
Yeah.
So will you wear the magic mask and pretend to be me?
Mm-hmm.
So he does, and then they get married.
Yeah.
And she's like, why I thought you loved me. And he's like, I don't know who you are, pretty much.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's so badly acted as well.
So bad.
Do you know who the actress who plays the Queen of Iceland is?
No.
She's the Terminator from Terminator 3.
Oh, yeah, actually, I did look that up. I just forgot. The whole film made my brain feel like it was shutting down, so...
Oh, really?
I just forgot everything.
It was, I have to say, I found this a harder watch than Vanity Fair.
Yeah, I thought I was really hard done by after I watched Vanity Fair, but after watching Sword of Xanten, I thought, no. Goblet of Fire was a welcome break from it all, really. I mean, for an acting debut for Robert, it's all right.
He's a bit of a wet lettuce in it, though, isn't he?
He is, yeah, and like I said, bad wig.
Very bad wig.
He looks really...
And bad beard as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happens? They get married and she's unhappy, and then she won't have sex with the king who's married her, and she ties him up.
Yeah.
Like really in a
Really
really
aggressively.
weird way.
Yeah.
Like with his hands and feet tied behind, like what's that called? Is that like hog roasting? or
I
something?
don't know.
That's what it's. I think that's what
What
it's
am I,
called.
Christian Grey?
I think that's what the kids call it.
The kids.
The
I
kids.
hope no kids call it that.
Wow. I don't know.
I'm gonna be calling some parents.
Yeah, and then so he gets Eric to pretend to be him again, and he removes the belt from her because she's got a magic belt that gives her power.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was like a chastity belt.
No. That's why no
Oh,
one
of
can.
course it can't be because he's already boned her.
Yeah. That's why no one
Oh.
can beat her because it gives her super strength.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
Wow.
she hates Eric, so she conspires with everyone to kill him. They kill him, and then
What
she goes.
a queen.
And then she goes hell for leather on him, on everyone. That everyone finds out about everything in the end, and you think this is all wrapped up in about 10 minutes. By the way,
Yeah.
I wrote in my notes this thing's going to wrap up quick because
Yeah.
there's all this build up, and then everything happens in about 5 seconds.
Mhm.
And then he gets put on a funeral pyre, and it gets set on fire, and then she just appears from nowhere on the funeral pyre and stabs herself and dies, and that's the end.
Yeah.
And that's Sword of Xanten.
Yeah. So in terms of Robert Pattinson's role in it, which is what we're all here to talk about.
Oh yeah, well he doesn't really do a lot.
No, he doesn't.
I thought he was going to be quite the antagonist because when Eric first arrives at the castle, he's a proper dick to him, and you're like, oh, there's a bit of
Yeah.
adversarial
Ooh,
things
he's a
going
bit
on
of a
here.
bad boy.
But then they make mates, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
After he's won the Queen's hand or whatever,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we're going to make a blood pact. We're going to be bros.
Mhm. We're going to be broskies.
And then he tries to fight at the end, does he?
Mm-hmm.
Tries to fight the evil advisor who's
Yeah.
conspired against everyone because he tries to
So,
take over the castle.
yeah.
And then they're like, sit down.
Uh-huh.
Sit down.
Uh-huh.
You can't do this. You
I'm
can't
just
win.
wondering, as an actor, I don't know if you know this, do you just get an audition and then you go and audition and what they see is what they're happy with? Or would Robert Pattinson have had to go to audition for Goblet of Fire and show them his stuff from Sword of Xanten? Because I can't imagine for a second that him showing them his clips in that would have helped him get the role.
I can't talk from personal experience on that level,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a show reel of stuff that you've done before, which you edit, so you can pick which bits go in it. I would
so he
assume
can pick the
that
bits where
he
he's-
wouldn't have any of this.
Where he's
in
being a bit of a bad boy then.
Yeah, but that might get you in the room. Some people want those, some people don't.
Interesting.
But yeah, he would probably have auditioned for this without them knowing.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that for sure.
And then as soon as he got
But
Cedric Diggory, it was just all up from
especially considering that this was it was broadcast in Germany first,
Yeah.
so people probably wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
Or be aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say that he goes from strength to strength after this.
Yeah, it's just solid in Goblet of Fire.
Can't remember any other stupid things that happened in it.
It was just a stupid film. It was rubbish.
Oh, there was because he forges a sword. He forges the sword of Xanten.
The sword, yeah, out of a dinosaur asteroid.
Meteorite or
I
something.
just
Yeah.
assumed it's
But
dinosaurs.
it is literally talking about how slow this film is. There's literally, I didn't time it, but it felt like 10 minutes,
Mhm.
10-minute montage of him crafting this sword,
Yeah,
and it's just so long to make a sword.
yeah.
Come on, guys.
I mean, I do watch Forged by Fire, and it does take quite a long time to make a sword, Tom. So
Do you want to explain what a Forged by Fire
Forged
is?
by Fire. Oh, here we go. Right. So, listener, if you've ever seen the Great British Bake Off, and if not, why not? Forged by Fire is basically Great British Bake Off, but with forging weapons.
It's a small difference.
So it's a little bit more, high stakes.
They're not baking a sponge; they're baking a knife.
They are. They are. And so, yeah, the contestants on it make weapons like Viking battle axes, katanas, just, I don't know, throwing knives. They make all sorts. But you get to know a forge, okay? So when I saw that guy forging a sword in 10-minute interval, I thought, it's actually pretty quick.
Yeah, but I mean, Forged by Fire, I've only seen small bits of it. It's quite highly dramatized, and there's
Yeah.
big sound effects, and this is just a slow
It is.
10-minute montage
Yeah.
of a man pulling some ropes,
There was nothing rocky about it, that's for
melting
sure.
some metal,
Did you say mounting some metal?
melting some metal.
He's just hopping on it.
Yeah. I've not really got anything else to say on Sword of Xanten.
No.
I don't think. What's our rating system going to be? Obviously, we've got pat on the back, shout on the back.
Pat on the back, shout on the back, Reese without a spoon, Reese with a spoon. Shite of Xanten?
Shite of Xanten.
I don't know.
So, I've not thought of anything. Let's just go with shat on the back or pat on the back. What would you say this is?
One big steaming shat on the back.
Big steaming shat on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it goes more towards shat on the back,
Mm-hmm.
which it's quite disappointing to me because I was quite looking forward to watching this film.
When I read the synopsis, I was like, that sounds pretty epic.
Sword of Xanten
Xanten?
It makes it sound like, because also the sword's not really focused on at all.
No,
but it makes
there was
it sound
not enough sword for me.
it makes it sound like it's going to be a big, like, rollicking adventure, good time pals. Do you know
Is
what I
that
mean?
what you got from it?
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
And then what I actually got was quite a slow paced,
Badly acted.
badly acted. I looked at what the main actor has been in since. Nothing that I've watched.
No.
I think there's like a couple of, I can't even remember his name, but I think he's
Eric?
been in, no, like the actor's
Oh,
name.
Gunhild?
He's been in like some police things, I think. But
Oh, God.
yeah.
Hasn't everyone?
Yeah,
Haven't
yeah,
you been
pretty
in
much.
the bill?
Yeah,
I've been in the bill.
Have you?
No.
I was going to say.
Wow, you
get
kept that
us a
quiet.
job.
Guess
That's not on anymore, is it, the bill?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I think it's a shut on the back.
Yeah.
Now what we're going to do, as we progress, I'm going to keep a record of it as well. I think we may have to have different lists, but we're going to make a list ranking the Robert Pattinson films as we watch them. So we'll
Yeah.
add to it every week.
Yeah.
And by the end of this series, we will therefore know what officially, there'll be no arguments, officially,
This is the number one authority, okay?
don't go anywhere else for your Robert Pattinson rankings.
It's the
official.
way you're saying that is worrying me. Robert Pattinson rankings.
Robert Pattinson rankings. You gotta put your teeth in before you say that, I tell you. Robert Pattinson rankings.
Say
Don't
it
go
10
anywhere
times
else
faster.
for them, because this is the official place. On a roll. Once On a Roll said it, it's final. We will know what the best, categorically, Robert Pattinson film is.
Yeah.
Until obviously he makes more.
Yeah.
And
So
we
far.
might have to do some bonus episodes and come back and rank them.
Oh, yeah, because we need to talk about Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman. The sword of Batman.
Sword of Batman.
Yeah.
So what would you rank? So we've got 3 films so far.
Yeah.
Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
Sword of Xanten and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. What would you put at the top? I think I know what you're going to put at the top.
I mean, clearly, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is his best film thus far.
Thus far in his career.
Then it's going to have to be Sword of Xanten, purely because he was actually in it. As Vanity Fair.
That is an interesting criteria.
He wasn't in it. So how could I possibly make that above Sword of Xanten?
So I'm at a crossroads here then, because
Are you in a bit of a pickle?
I am in a bit of a pickle.
A bit of a pickle.
Bit of a pickle.
Piccolino.
Because I enjoyed Vanity Fair more than Sword of Xanten.
I can't believe that. You enjoyed something with dragons less than Sword of Xanten. No.
Yeah.
Vanity Fair.
Well, I forgot to mention that actually. The dragon in it is terrible.
It is, yeah.
It's
You're
not even a
right.
dragon.
No.
It's more of a lizard. Because it's
Not a
Has it
dragon.
got wings?
Lizard.
It's genuinely a lizard,
Oh,
isn't
also, just coming back to the dragon quickly, it doesn't even breathe fire until the very last moment when he's trying to get Eccleston. What's his name?
it? Eccleston?
Oh.
Eric?
Eric.
Eccleston? Why are you bringing Christopher Eccleston into this? This isn't a Doctor Who podcast.
And I was just thinking, what kind of dragon doesn't just breathe fire at will? It's just crap.
His name's Eric. Not Will. You walked right into that one.
Oh, God.
At least I laugh at myself. Yeah, so look, I'm just going to be awkward. I'm going to put Vanity Fair in number 2. Because
Wow.
also, I think the deleted scene, even though it's deleted,
You're right.
it's better than... It would
His
make it a better
5-minute
film.
deleted scene from Vanity Fair is better than every time he was on screen in Sword of Xanten.
It's probably more accumulated time as well.
It probably actually is, yeah.
So there you have it.
Wow.
That's how it stands thus far.
Okay.
I mean, you can have your own opinions. You can put.
I mean, we agree that Goblet of Fire is the best so far, and it's not
Yeah.
like we're trying to agree what his worst film is.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah, Goblet of Fire is the best so far.
Uh-huh.
So that's how it stands.
Yeah.
Shall I look at what we're watching next week?
Yeah. While you do, I got a fun fact about Robert Pattinson
Oh, go on.
because I thought, you
Pray
know
do
what?
tell.
It's the first episode, so we want to keep things fun. So I was reading about him on a list of 12 facts you probably didn't know about Robert Pattinson.
Are you going to tell us all 12?
No, just one.
Oh,
I'm going to
oh,
pace myself.
Are you going to save it?
Yeah.
We're going to get one a
You're
week.
just getting one.
What, we're going to get one a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
So,
how many episodes are we going to have? Well, it might work out.
Yeah.
It might work out well.
So, the first fact is that Robert Pattinson got expelled from school when he was 12 because he was buying dirty porn magazines from the shop and selling them to his classmates for a profit.
Sorry.
How funny is that?
I was not expecting that. I was not expecting
You
that.
weren't paying attention, were you?
I wasn't really. No, I was looking
As
for
soon
this
as
list.
I said dirty porn magazines, you
My
just
ears
went,
pricked straight up.
Yeah, so he's 12 years old in school and he got excluded because he was buying naughty magazines from the corner shop.
What a naughty boy.
I know, what a naughty boy.
What a naughty, naughty boy.
So yeah, there's your Robert Pattinson fun fact for the week.
Robert Pattinson fact for the week. That's the jingle.
Ooh, yay, we'll have to
I've stole that
practice
off Harry Hill.
We'll have to just harmonise for that next
Yeah,
week.
yeah. Okay, so next week we'll
Okay.
be watching The Haunted Airman.
The Haunted Airman.
The Haunted Airman. that I, for one, cannot wait for.
Ah.
Even though it'd be scary.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like scary films.
You'll be fine.
So
Isn't it BBC? It's not going to be that scary.
It was shown on BBC 4, I believe.
Yeah, BBC. There's a BBC 4.
Did you not know there's BBC
No.
4? Tell you what, you've not lived until you've watched something on BBC 4.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe you have. Maybe you have.
Maybe I'm the one with the life.
Yeah, maybe. BBC 1, good content. I nearly said that.
Quantent.
Good content. BBC 2, all right. Actually, there's a fair bit on BBC 2 that I like.
What's that show that you like on?
Inside Number 9.
Yeah, what's that?
It's on BBC 2.
Is it? Okay. I'm glad you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, I recommend to anyone listening Inside Number 9, if you like Reece Shearsmith, Steve Pemberton, the actors. It's an anthology show. I would say people often compare it to Black Mirror.
Are you getting paid for this?
No.
Okay, just checking.
If they do want to sponsor the podcast, I would happily
Please do,
take their
because
money.
Tom needs a new laptop.
Yeah. Well, but Inside Number 9, anthology series, just really good. Lots of twists, lots of turns, quite dark in places, but also funny.
Like a Alton Towers scare maze, you might say.
There's a few episodes that are really fucking scary.
Dark, twisty.
Yeah, very dark and very twisty.
Okay.
And Reece Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton, they both play characters, at least one of them in every episode.
Nice.
And it's just so good. It's a really hard show to describe.
Yeah.
But if you watch it,
You'll get it.
oh, it's so good.
Okay.
I really enjoy it.
Calm your
I
passion.
I punched the air there.
I finally fist pumped.
Yeah, it's
Like a
just
John
it's so
Hughes
good.
movie.
But that's on BBC 2. BBC 3 is obviously it's online now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And then BBC 4, they tend to show like documentaries more.
Or The Haunted Airman.
The Haunted Airman. They do show a lot of horror, actually. They always have a horror on around Christmas.
Of course.
Often directed or written by Mark Gatiss of Sherlock fame, who writes Sherlock with Stephen Moffat. And, sorry, I just know a lot about BBC 4, apparently.
You just know a lot about BBC in general.
Yeah. But also, interesting fact, segueing into Inside Number 9.
Okay.
Mark Gatiss, I'm never sure how to say his name.
I say Gattis.
He worked with Reece Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton to form The League of Gentlemen, which is also a BBC comedy series, quite dark. It's not available to watch anymore because some of it's a little bit controversial and offensive. It's got taken off Netflix.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't know if anyone's actually interested in that. I've just talked for 5 minutes about 3 people that I quite like. Anyway, you're watching The Haunted Airman, Bad Mother's Handbook.
Yep.
How to be. I don't know what he's trying to be. I don't know.
He's just trying to exist.
I don't know
Aren't
a
we
lot.
all?
I don't know a lot about these films.
Aren't we all?
And Little Ashes.
I have only seen one of these. I watched Haunted Airman when it came out because they were selling it as Twilight's Robert Pattinson's in this new creepy film, and I was like, oh my god, I love Twilight and I love creepy films.
I don't think he'd been in Twilight yet, had he?
No, but he was going to be.
Oh,
so
right.
they put it on the cover of the DVD, like Twilight's Robert Pattinson.
Right.
So
well,
I don't remember it.
I'm
at
excited. So one more film to watch, but it's worth it to see our boy Rob.
Our boy.
My boy. He's my boy, my son.
Kill the spam.
I got it the wrong way around. But yeah, I think that's all we've got for this week.
That's all we got time
We'll
for.
see if people want to watch the films.
Yeah.
That we're going to watch for the next episode, or that we've watched for this episode, and let us know what you think of them.
Yeah. You
can contact us and let us know. You could tweet us
on a roll pod
on the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
On the Twitter. You could email us honorrollpod@gmail.com. Is there any other ways that they can contact us?
On a roll pod Instagram.
Oh, at On a Roll. I think that's our handle on everything, isn't it? Subscribe to us on the YouTube as well.
YouTube, yep.
And if you've enjoyed this episode, I know I have. You could.
It's been a hoot.
A hoot. A hoot. You could leave us a little cheeky review if you wanted to on the older iTunes.
But if you didn't enjoy it, don't leave a review.
Oh, if you didn't enjoy it, give it 5 stars anyway. I'm not trying to force your hand, but it would really help us out.
Tom did just wink.
I don't know why I did.
At you, listener. I felt a bit involved there.
Yeah,
I felt like you were talking to me. Like, I'm obviously going to rate it 5 stars. You don't need to convince me.
I don't know why.
Emma, rate it.
Hopefully the wink came across in my voice. I don't know how one would wink with their voice.
Try it.
So this is without a wink. Give it 5 stars. This is with a wink. Give it 5 stars.
Ew. That was horrible.
3 years at acting school just for that. Just to get it all across in my voice. Yeah, so give us a rate. Give us a subscribe on YouTube, on iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. Or maybe you're listening to us on YouTube. This will be available on YouTube. How exciting is that? Cheeky YouTube podcast. Oh.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Do you want people to follow you on Twitter?
No.
No. Stay away.
No.
Stay away.
Unless you want to see the same Robert Pattinson meme.
I mean, that is what it's turned into at this point in time.
My whole timeline is just Robert Pattinson standing in his kitchen in that fucking tracksuit. So there's nothing worth following me for.
Okay. Maybe we won't do that then.
So yeah, just don't bother.
It's not worth it. Yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank
hopefully
you.
you've enjoyed, and hopefully you'll tune in next week.
Yeah.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Bye.